In 1910, a wildfire broke out in Idaho that consumed 3 million acres of timber. The weather was extraordinarily dry that summer, which really contributed to the fire. At that time, the only concept that was on the firefighters' mind was 100% suppression. The primary tool for firefighters was the Pulaski, created by Ed Pulaski in 1911. Ed Pulaski made the tool famous after he saved 45 firefighters during the incident. I bet you're wondering, if the tool was invented in 1911, how did he use it in 1910? Well, it turns out that there was a similar tool created by the Collins Tool Company in 1876, but Ed Pulaski made it famous after his incident in Idaho. So in a way, it's his idea. On August 5, 1949, the concept of 100% suppression changed forever. In Mann Gulch, a group of smoke jumpers were sent in to extinguish what was supposed to be a small fire. Smoke jumpers were basically firefighters that parachuted into an area closest to the fire so they could put it out before it got any worse. The smoke jumpers at Mann Gulch weren't greeted by a small fire. Instead, they were greeted by a larger fire that was too big for them to put out. The smoke jumpers were forced to evacuate the area, but the fire was just too quick. It managed to catch up with them. Out of the 16 smoke jumpers that were sent to Mann Gulch, only 3 survived. Crosses were put up to commemorate those who lost their lives in the fire. After the incident, firefighters learned to just let wildfires burn, because afterwards they discovered something truly amazing. A few weeks after the fire in Mann Gulch, new generations of plants started to pop up out of the charred ruins of the old forest. By letting the fire burn, it managed to take the nutrients inside the plants and recycle them back into the soil. It also made room for the second generation of plants. This sequence of plant generations, otherwise known as succession, plays a crucial role in keeping the plants healthy. With this information being known, forest rangers and firefighters began to think differently about 100% suppression. In 1988, the concept of let it burn was put to the test. Firefighters began to put prescribed fires inside Yellowstone to help recycle the nutrients and make room for the second generation of plants. As a result, a brand new generation of pine trees began to spring up after the fire. So based on what you've learned here, wildfires have both positives and negatives to them.
So, which concept do you favor?
Well, for me, I'd have to go with both the concepts.
You actually like both concepts?
Yep.
Really?
Because when you look at it in a certain way, you see that one actually helps the other. First you set the fire to recycle the nutrients inside the ground and make room for the second generation of plants, and when you're finished, you can just put the fire out before it causes any more damage. All you need is a few men with Pulaskis, water, and drip torches, and you're set. Let it burn in 100% suppression is actually a pretty good combo, when you use it right. You catching my drift?
I think so. But how would others look at your policy?
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, would others like your policy?
Well, forest rangers might be upset that I destroyed their main attractions, and citizens would be upset if their homes got destroyed in the fire. The politicians would be up to their elbows in complaints about property damage, and the Native Americans would be upset that I desecrated their sacred land. Yeah, I'd be causing a lot of problems for others, but I do help the ecologists in a way.
How's that?
Follow me, I'll show you. You remember this place?
Yeah, this is the grassland area you set on fire in your biome movie.
And I had a great time doing it too. But look around. What do you see?
Flowers growing out of your path of destruction.
Exactly! By setting this place on fire, I managed to recycle the nutrients and make room for the second generation of plants that were going to be here. So, in a way, my path of destruction was actually a path of succession.
You didn't know that, did you? You're just using it as an excuse for setting this place on fire.
Yep.